Greetings, jazz lovers. Welcome to the Sidney Bechet Society's fall season opener. I had wanted a chair like Martin Mull used to perform in, but apparently you need the union for real furniture. So I'm going to perch on this stool for a bit and chat with you. My name is Phil Stern. I'm the secretary of the Bechet Society. Thank you very much. I have a few things to mention tonight, and I beg your indulgence for a few moments. I needed to change my starting point because of some news I recently found out. There's an additional person I'd like to acknowledge. We lost a second member of the Bechet Society family in June, only days after Eric Offner's passing. I was expecting a usual pre-show phone call, which did not come, and upon investigating, I found out that our longtime attendee, Alan Merkin, had passed away. Alan was a gentle and enthusiastic man, a passionate music fan. He was very personally encouraging to me, and he was an extraordinarily generous supporter of the Bechet Society. We're fortunate to have some of his family members here with us tonight to carry on the Merkin presence, and I thank you guys very much for coming out. I'd meant to begin by telling you about tonight's show, but you know, jazz, we have to improvise. So tonight we have Bria Skonberg. Bria played her first, yes please. Bria played her first big New York City show for the Bechet Society in 2010 on this very stage. She has gone from strength to strength. I'm only going to mention September 2014, where she has led 2 sold-out shows at Dizzy's Club Coca-Cola, and she is featured in both Downbeat and Jazz Times magazine, Jazz Times appearing on the cover. So, Bria, the next stop is Rolling Stone, to quote Dr. Hook. Okay, I thought I might have had Will Friedwald explain that joke at intermission. Joining Bria in the Sidney Bechet role on Reeds is Evan Arnson. Evan was on that original show with Bria, flying out from Vancouver. He's since moved to New York and is also setting the scene alight here. We have 2 additional SBS alumni, members of the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra, Vincent Gardner on trombone and Alvin Atkinson Jr. on drums. On piano, originally from Sweet Home Chicago, John Weber. John is now the host of NPR's radio show Piano Jazz, a role he took over when Marion McPartland retired. Those were very big shoes to fill, and they chose John Weber. Finally, and of great significance, is bass player Debbie Kennedy. Debbie plays with the Woody Allen Band, and she has an illustrious family history you can read about in tonight's program. But most importantly, Debbie was one of the musicians who played at Clem Meadmore's Fifth Avenue Jam Sessions. Some of you knew Clem. He was a world-famous Australian sculptor with large-scale installations all around the world. He was also a hardcore jazz collector, and once a month, he opened his home for a jam session where musicians and fans dropped in all through the evening. This was one of the 2 locales where the Bechet Society grew out of. It is where Eric Offner first met musicians like Evan Christopher and Wycliffe Gordon, who became such a big part of what we do. So Debbie's being here brings things full circle in a way. This is our first show without Eric, and yet we have a real connection to the Bechet Society roots. I'm reminded of something from years ago. When the musical 42nd Street opened on Broadway, it was a thunderous success. When the applause had finally died down, the somewhat curmudgeonly producer, David Merrick, said that this was a wistful occasion. The audience laughed, thinking he was joking, but he went on to announce that the show's choreographer and director, Gower Champion, had passed away that afternoon. And yet, the show must go on. Our champion, Eric Offner, left us in early June, and this is the first show in our 17 years without him. Eric was my boss, a mentor, and most of all, one of the closest friends of my entire life. So for me, this is a somewhat wistful occasion, but we will carry on tonight and bring you the joyful sounds that Eric so loved. And we will also be carrying on with the Bechet Society with your patronage and support, keeping it strong into the future. I want to invite you to join us at our next show, Monday, October 6th, which will be a tribute to Eric Offner. There's a flyer in your program about that. It will be led by Byron Stripling and Evan Christopher, 2 of Eric's favorite musicians. They will be joined by SBS alumni Marion Felder on drums, Kelly Friesen on bass, also Byron's personal piano player, Bobby Floyd, who's been a member of Ray Charles' band and currently tours with Dr. John. Please get tickets for October 6th, tell friends about it, and let's fill this house and celebrate the life of the man who is responsible for all of us being here together tonight. I thank you so much for your time. And now, Miss Bria Skonberg.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good night. Good evening, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to this beautiful symphony space. What a joy and an honor it is to play this concert tonight. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. And I'll tell you, to be honest, until about 5 o'clock this evening, I had no idea what this band would sound like. And that is what makes the Sidney Bechet Society incredibly unique. They would love to putting together ad hoc combinations of musicians and to just maybe seeing us sweat a little bit, but all in the name of spirited New Orleans jazz, and it's really about the ensemble playing, so thank you for allowing us the opportunity to do this. I think that's really special, and it's really fun and challenging, so you're going to be enjoying this tonight as we are for the first time. So you'll get to hear it, and we'll feature everybody individually. As Phil said, wow, what a treat, and again, an honor, but to play the first concert since Mr. Eric Offner has passed. And I think every note that's played tonight will definitely be with him in mind. He was such a funny guy. He always got a kick out of the fact that he could call me at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be up working. Because he was thinking, jazz musicians, they don't get up until noon, 1 o'clock. But I had a lot of great conversations with him, plotting and planning concerts. And it's just a treat to be back again with all these great friends. So we have lots of music for you. That number was called Stompy Jones. It's a song by Duke Ellington, and we ripped Sidney Bechet's version of that. Following up, we're going to do a song. This is called, well, it has a couple of titles. It was originally known as Blame It on the Blues. It was a ragtime piece from 1914. Thank you to Mr. John Weber. He's kind of basically a Wikipedia of jazz knowledge. And Sidney liked it so much, he took it, and he called it the Quincy Street Stomp. Here you go. The Quincy Street Stomp. Or blame it on the blues, whatever you'd like to call it, we like to play it. All right, we're going to feature, actually quite often on this set, you'll be listening to the sweet sounds of Mr. Evan Arntzen here on all sorts of Sidney Bechet numbers. Yeah, it's good to have you here, man. I got to play my first concert here was with Evan, and Evan actually just moved here finally, in January. We've been friends for, oh gosh, almost maybe 14 years now, about that. God, you're getting old, man. I don't know what's happening. Or at least taller. But I'm so thrilled that he's here in New York so we get to do things like this more often. I had the pleasure of playing. He comes from a very musical family, a clan, really, the Arntzen clan, and one of Evan's greatest influences, as well as my greatest influence in the Sidney Bechet material. It comes not just from Evan, but his grandfather, Lloyd Arntzen, who's still kicking, alive, and very much loving playing the clarinet. How old is he now? He just turned 87. How about that? All right. Well, you want me to tell us a little bit about this tune?
Sure. Well, this is one I obviously learned through him. My grandfather likes to say that him and Sidney were great friends. They never met. Of course, Bechet being an inspiration to us both, and I was able to learn this music through somebody who I think really embodies the spirit of New Orleans jazz, although he comes from Bad Lake, Saskatchewan, of all places. And so we're going to give you this song now that my grandfather and I both love to play, called Le Premier Bal. Ooh la la.
change in the sea. From now on to be a change in me. My walk will be different, my talk and my name. Ain't nothing about me gonna be the same. I'm gonna change my way of living. If that ain't enough, oh, I'll leave and change the way I strut my stuff. For nobody wants you when you're old and gray. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made.
There's a change in the weather, change in the sea. Yes, from now on there'll be a change in me. My walk will be different, my talk and my name. Ain't nothing about me gonna be the same. I'm gonna change my way of living, and if that ain't enough, I'll even change the way I strut my stuff. 'Cause nobody wants you when you're too old to play. There'll be some changes made today. There will be some changes made. Yes, my talk and my name ain't nothing about me gonna be the same. I'm gonna change my way of living, and if that ain't enough, oh, I'll even change the way I strut my stuff. For nobody wants you when you're too old to play. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made today. Yes, there will be some changes made today. All right. Thank you, folks. That's Alvin Atkinson Jr. on the drums, folks. With a very profound bow tie, I might add. He had a few options, and that is the one that he chose. I think it's a great one. Thank you, folks. It's called Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho. So, Eric was a big fan of improvised music and always new ideas, bringing in new talent, and something I'm very much a fan of is, keeping the music alive in a lot of ways, writing some new music that are in the style or whatever style you choose for them to be. There's a clarinetist in New Orleans named Tim Laughlin, and he had a great line that was, if I'm going to play obscure music, it may as well be my own, So that makes a lot of sense. And he was responsible too. Just tell you quickly, he made some bumper stickers that say, "New Orleans, we put the fun in funeral." Yeah. If you're gonna go, you may as well go having fun. Anyway, with that in mind, this is a song written by our great friend Evan Arntzen. Want to tell us a little bit about your inspiration, sir?
Well, I like to take after Bichet in any way I can, and so I kind of stole the idea for this from a song of his. And, he was famous for stealing. And playing the things in his own way, of course, making them his own. But, a lot of the songs that he said he wrote weren't really his. But, sacrilege, I know. But so anyway, I took the idea for this song from a song of his called Puerto Rico, and I wrote it while we were recording. I was recording an album with my grandfather a couple of years ago, and so we wrote this for us to play together. It's called Silver-Haired Fox.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to play one more song this set and take a little break. We've got lots more music for you this evening, and also beyond this evening, if you would like. As Evan mentioned, he's got some CDs out there. I have some CDs out in the back. I think some of these other players have some, but they're not here. But if you talk to us, we'll let you know how to get a hold of those, as well as some other, let you know about some other fun events that we all have individually coming up in the city. Unless we get to do this again, which I would be just fine with. All right, we're going to finish off this set with a rousing good one called After You've Gone.
Left me crying. After you've gone, there's no denying. You'll feel blue, you'll feel so sad. You'll miss the greatest friend you've ever had. There'll come a time, don't you forget it. There'll come a time when you'll regret it. Someday when you feel lonely, your heart will break like mine and you'll want me only. After you've gone away.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What a band. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, take a little break. We're just getting warmed up. We got lots more music to come. Thank you very much. Thank you. For Eric. We'll see you soon. Hello, hello, hello. Before we get started, I want to let you know about some other great things that are coming up in the not too distant future. Our friends at the New Jersey Jazz Society want to let you know that, yeah, the New Jersey Jazz Society. Man, they've been very, very kind to me for many years. And tomorrow, if you're not doing anything tomorrow, Palmer Square is having there's a big, the 23rd annual Jazz Feast at Palmer Square. Ed Polster is the musical director. I had the opportunity to play there last year with my own band, which was lots of fun. And Cynthia Sayer is going to be there, and closing out the night is Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks. Can't beat that. So if you see one of these flyers and you can't quite miss it, make sure you pick one of those up and find some friends. Arrange a carpool to get out there tomorrow if you can. All right, here comes more hot music your way. I think this rhythm section not only swings hard, but they have the greatest smiles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Way down yonder in New Orleans. All right, I'm going to send the mic back over to Mr. Evan Arnson for a beautiful song called Georgia Cabin.
This is a song that Bechet recorded and wrote. I think he actually wrote this one. He did write a few, and this is a beauty, absolutely. And he wrote it with somebody called Mary Carolee, who wrote the lyrics to this song. And I don't really know much about Mary Carolee. If anyone has any information about her, maybe you can come talk to me afterwards. I would be appreciative. But at any rate, they wrote this song together, purportedly in a car while they were driving in the countryside. So this is called Georgia Cabin, and Vince is going to play the melody on the first time.
Let me tell you of a land of dreams where they weave love's magic in pale moonbeams. Yes, I found a place that's paradise, it seems. Talking about my Georgia cabin in the cool of evening at twilight's end. There's a road that takes us around the bend. Yes, I hear it calling, return again to your Georgia cabin. Pine trees whisper to the stars at night. Shadows flicker in the campfire light. We must be standing at heaven's door. Come on now, my baby, what we waiting for? Take me home where the river runs down to the sea, to a place where we can let our hearts run free. I hear it calling, calling you and me to my little Georgia cabin. Pine trees whisper to the stars at night. Shadows flicker in the campfire light. We must be standing at heaven's door. Come on now, my baby, what we waiting for? Take me home where the river runs down to the sea, to a place where we can let our hearts run free. Yes, I hear it calling, calling you and me to my little Georgia cabin.
That was beautiful. Not a dry seat in the house, as they say. He's like my brother, and I'm so proud. All right. Well, let's tell you what. Let's do this tune that you brought. Also, kind of reminds me of your tie. It's called the Polka Dot Stomp. stop, and how. All right, folks, it's really a joy to get to play, I think really for the first time in this situation with this wonderful trombonist, Mr. Vincent Gardner. Absolutely fabulous. So Evan and I are going to alleviate ourselves from the stage, and here's Mr. Vincent Gardner to play a great tune for you.
And this is another good old good one entitled Save It, Pretty Mama, Day by Day. Now save it, pretty mama, day by day. Don't you give none away. Let it pile up, honey, until you say, then I'll be right there to spend the day. I've got an art of loving that can't be beat. My way of hugging is a treat. Oh, why don't we just agree for you to save it, pretty mama, save it all for me. Save it, pretty mama, don't so bo did it low. Do bit dip, dibble did do dip, do bo did do bliddy, oh diddy, ho do 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 lo do biddy did do lady do. Do bo bit bit dip bo do let do bo did do bo did no bo did no bo do do do. So bim libble do be that do shoot do blow dip, who did lip. bidit bo did did do do bo bi bo did do do did do. Shabba did bo did do do did bo do do. Shit bo did bo do did bo did do did did. Boom, yeah did did did. Boom, yeah bo bo do do. Shit did do do did did do 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 do. So the bo bi did did do. So did it in the hole. Lord, the bo bo bi da do did lo did do. The bo bi did do lo. So the bi did do did we do. So bo did do bi did do bo did lo do bo did be oh lo we do lo. So did do did we do lead do bo do. Say hello, so bo bi did.
It's a Ghana. Pretty mama. John Weber. Don't you wish you could learn how to do that? Hey. Well, actually, you can take lessons from Vincent at Jazz at Lincoln Center several times a year at the Swing University. I know I took a Swing University class earlier this year and had a great time. So make sure I would put in a plug for that program too. You know, a lot of the people up here on stage, not just great performers, but great educators, and that's some important part of what we do. So, thank you. And we're always learning from the greats. One of those greats, of course, is Duke Ellington. Here's one of his tunes.
till you've had that mood indigo. That feeling goes stealing down to my shoes while I sit inside. Go long blues. Always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. In the evening when lights are low, I'm so lonesome I could cry, for there's nobody cares about me. I'm just a fool who's bluer than blue can be. When I get that mood indigo, I could lay me down and die. No, you ain't been blue, no. No, 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 no. You ain't been blue till you've had that mood indigo. That feeling goes on stealing down, down, down to my shoes while I sit inside.
John Weber on the piano. Debbie Kennedy on the bass. Mr. Alvin Atkinson Jr. on the drums. The great Vincent Gardner on the trombone. And our Bechet-inspired clarinetist for the evening, this is Evan Arntzen. My name is Bria Skomberg. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. We want to thank you all again for coming to join us here tonight. Ben, have a round of applause for this audience doing such a great job listening. Great. And we want to thank our friends behind the soundboard for making us sound so great this evening. Thank you. And once again, Phil Stern and Donald Gardner and Eric Offner, of course, for allowing us to be here on this evening to play for you. So hope to do it again and again. Make sure you check the schedule, October 6th. Byron Stripling, yeah! Great trumpet player. And Evan Christopher is they're going to be playing a set. So I hope to be here for that one to listen, as I hope you are too. Again, we have some recordings in the back, And we're going to play one more tune for you now. Uh-oh. The spirit of Sidney Bechet is in this microphone. We're going to play one more hot jazz number for you folks. Thanks so much for joining us on this jazz jam. I think it's the best we have ever sounded collectively. You know, would you think so? I think this is the best we've ever played together. So just glad you could be here for that. Okay. All right. This is called The Weary Blues. all.